Within it.
What do you mean? Hello?
Yes! Yes! Okay, now what?
Definitely gonna save.
This is like Highlander, do we get his powers? Can we zap the
I
that would
freaking
make life
wish.
a lot easier.
Ooh.
This is always a great moment when the initiate passes over the threshold and becomes a brother.
Stephanie?
I believe you have something for her.
That.
Oh, well.
Ring the bell and win a prize for the lovely lady. Or is it win the lovely lady as your prize?
Enough games.
Agreed.
Wow, what the hell?
Okay, change that. Wow, the camera's shaking. It's really weird.
It's
Each
disorienting.
Hell is happening?
time you climbed the rope, you caused her pain, but you always hurt the ones you love.
That's weirdly terrible.
That's awful. My God. We did this, kind of.
Is that all you require?
I want an explanation.
Of course you do. There are no such things as monsters. And yet, you've killed monsters. Everything in Harvest is just slightly askew. This is because, as advanced as our technology is, we cannot make the sim any better than this. The subject's subconscious always warps it in unpredictable ways.
This whole thing's virtual reality?
Sam?
Sam?
This is nothing more than a virtual reality designed by the Harvesters to test potential members. Having successfully completed the program, you have earned the right to become a Harvester.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
I
Hell is a
took it.
harvester.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
The hand that grips the knife that stabs, the ones who move amid the crop and harvest the fruit.
It's like Assassins.
You're talking about people. Killing people.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, okay.
Again and again and again, I believe the technical term is serial killer.
Really?
The Harvesters seek to perpetuate terror and discord for our own purposes. We do this through the random utility of murder, and we persevere through our recruitment of initiates like yourself.
You want me to become a serial killer?
Huh.
Wow, that's bizarre.
This entire reality has been engineered to break down your resistance, to desensitize you to violence. Now you may become a harvester and re-enter the real world, or stay in peace with young Stephanie and spend the rest of your life in the construct known as Harvest.
Well, those are some fantastic options right there.
What is the real world at this
Serial killer or
point?
the Matrix?
Right now, you are suspended in a sensory deprivation tank, wired to support, and you will be dead within minutes. Those last minutes, however, will seem like a lifetime lived in harvest. You will marry Stephanie and die peacefully of old age.
That's interesting. If only Harvester wasn't so weird.
You're presuming
Yeah,
a
this person's
lot.
messed up.
Aside from you, she is the only real person in harvest, suspended in a tank.
Oh, so she's a real person. That's interesting.
Just as
Yeah,
you
she's the only other
are,
one with amnesia.
I assume you'll want to spend time together.
If I stay.
Of course, having completed your ordeal, you may leave with her as you intended and enjoy your victory. If, on the other hand, you wish to join us, the cost of exiting the lodge is the same as the cost of entering the lodge. A skull and spinal cord.
Oh wow.
Wow, you have to extract it yourself now. They really make sure that you are prepared to do this.
No kidding.
Wow, that finger.
Yeah, it looked a little weird on the camera.
You couldn't kill me. These harvesters, they put people through this torture to give them a taste for killing. The way to beat them is to deny them. To live out your life here with me. You're thinking about killing me, aren't you?
Those
Didn't
dead
you
Look
hear
at
what
that
he
Steve
said?
face, that like dumb.
I do exist.
dead eyes.
If you kill me here, I'll die for real. And
You
I'll
die
feel
in the
all
game, you die
pain,
for real.
The game
all
you
the
die in real
terror,
life. Oh god.
because I'm real.
Well, after all, what's a murder without the pain and terror? We will feed the pain impulses directly into her brain and then pull the plug. You will be a murderer, this time for real. So what will it be? Life in harvest.
Wow, the play of the game.
Straight up.
Harvester. Choose now.
Brutal. Oh, I'm playing.
That was a long scene. Do we get another save opportunity after this? You can't save at all? You can't even open the screen, the window?
Let me...
Nice.
Yes. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. What do we call this? Choice. Here it comes.
You disappoint me. You had possibilities.
I'd rather die than become as twisted as you.
You've made
That conviction.
your choice.
Yeah.
Succeeded in your quest. Enjoy the life you've chosen, such as it is.
Huh.
Steve cleans up pretty nice.
Yeah.
Wow, he marries them right there.
Yeah. Yay. God, this is
Oh
weird.
god, if that baby eats a spider again, I'm gonna be very...
Ugh.
It's the same baby. There's the cemetery. Well, they did say it would only be a few seconds, right?
Yeah, but we grow old and die within that reality.
Yeah,
It's a
in our
minute-
time, it was just a few seconds.
This kid could have been something. Never look back. We got 2 more to plug in. There's gotta be a better way to develop this
Look at
serial
all those
killer.
people watching the windows upstairs.
You want we should go back to the old way? What old way? Good breeding.
Dark.
That scene again, oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, oh god.
One pushing.
Finish her.
Sub-Zero wins. Fatality.
Wow, the spinal cord is still twitching.
Yeah.
That was neat.
Oh wow.
Okay, Steve can actually act this part. That's terrifying. Why is Stephanie in her underwear, but Steve is fully clothed? Did they just film this scene immediately after?
Oh, dude, he's hitchhiking. This is gonna be good.
What? No! He's the Incredible Hulk.
Well, until one day. Oh man.
You won't like him.
Oh, the music from the mob.
Where are you going?
Nowhere.
Oh, jeez.
Nowhere at all.
Oh! But I love how there's no point. Like, they wanted to be a serial killer for what purpose?
I have no idea. This is just
What are you doing,
miserable.
son?
Oh.
I mean,
Harvester.
they're just some, like, Illuminati
do you
organization. What?
That thing? I looked at it the other day.
What are you doing?
The
Playing
very
Harvester?
thought. Breeding serial killers. It's disgusting.
It's cool.
Will rot your mind playing games like that. Don't you know people who watch violence become violent themselves?
Wow.
Right in your face.
Not even, yeah.
That's bullshit, Mom.
Wow, look at that lighting.
Mom.
Mom.
No, it isn't. Why do you think they started cutting the violence out of those Roadrunner cartoons?
Oh, wow.
Roadrunner cartoon. Roadrunner cartoon?
Oh my god, Steve.
What the hell?
Where are we going? Oh god, we're inside.
What?
What is this?
What the hell?
So good. Ew.
What does this mean? Did he eat a finger?
Eating a finger from a woman. that he
God damn.
That was weird. Wow. That was so much worse than just
That was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
yikes.
Well, there you have it. That was Harvester, and I gotta say, I knew going in that this game was gonna be crazy, but I had no clue just how crazy it was gonna be. This was an experience.
Yeah, I mean, I had heard that this game was designed as a response regarding the controversy about video games breeding serial killers or something, which was obviously at the time socially just a bunch of garbage. But the fact that the game was that blunt about it, that it was actually a simulation designed to produce serial killers, that was not something I expected at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't know that going in. I mean, you told me during the recording, but if I didn't know before, that ending cutscene really spells it out for you.
Yeah, I thought the way they addressed the last level was just really jarring. I thought that was the most interesting part of the way the game builds. Like, someone put a lot of effort to this. It's actually a little terrifying.
Yeah, they really concentrated on the fact that you could kill people. What was interesting though was that it punished you for killing people at the beginning of the game. Again, except for the Wasp woman. What the hell?
Yeah.
But then toward the end of the game, it was like, go nuts, dude. Have a lot of fun.
Right. Well, I mean, there's what they always say about what is it? The first one is always the hardest, and it gets easier from there. It's basically serial killer psychology.
Yeah.
So they started you off easy with basic pranks, and they made you feel like your actions were causing people to die, sort of indirectly.
Yeah.
And then they slowly introduced the idea that you could outright kill people.
Yeah, they give you the wolf. Okay, you gotta fight this thing. They give you monsters in level 1 of the lodge. Well, dude, monsters. Okay, come on. But then if you want the gun, you gotta kill the guy who just cleaned the acid off your jeans. He did a nice thing for you. Then you gotta kill Mr. Kane on level 2.
Yeah, the first actual person you have to kill is not really a person. He's almost like subhuman. He's insane. But then you slowly start killing more like actual
You kill the janitor, you kill the clown, and then level 3, you're just killing everybody.
I guess the fight against Range Rider was a little goofy because it didn't have any mysteries in it, but I guess they had to put something in as the final boss.
Yeah, although it actually does show you that the TV station, the signal's coming in fuzzy. But why? It's a TV station. Well, there it is. Speaking of which, one thing I regret is I never got into McKnight's safe, and I never even found out how to get into McKnight's safe.
I've heard there are alternate paths to a lot of the solutions that we didn't really get into because we were using a specific guide.
Yeah, and the guy doesn't mention those. The only thing the guy does mention is there's a different way out of level 1. Mm-hmm. There was something about extinguishing a fire in a fireplace and climbing the rope or something like that instead of going through the bunch of fights we did. Right. So I guess we took the more flavorful route. But yeah,
we did get to see almost everything in the game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I covered almost every cutscene. I missed the cutscene of the blood drive, but I went ahead and YouTubed it and put it in after we did the right thing by going to the lodge with the spinal cord instead of going back home with the spinal cord. God knows why you would do that, but
Yeah.
the game punishes you in a very flavorful way. Oh, funny thing. Before I started the actual Let's Play, or no, before I started actually uploading the Let's Play, I had made a little vloggy segments to my viewers on the That Guy with the Glasses site, and I had said, because we'd only played through Disc 1 up to that point, so there wasn't really much, there wasn't an insane amount of violence in there, it was just whatever you get from killing regular people. That disgusting scene with the baby happened later in Disc 2. So we'd only gotten through Disc 1, and I had said that if you took a list of things that are just wrong with this game, I had said that I would literally put violence at the very bottom of the list, with the possible exception of sex, but Disc 2 and 3 went goddamn crazy.
Well, especially Disc 3 for violence.
Because Disc 1's themes were just despicable. There was, like, the offensive portrayal of homosexuals, there was the molesting, there was the burying the kid alive, there was masturbation, there was there was a racial epithet against Italians, and so I'm like, dude, violence is nothing, but I'm gonna have to redact that statement, because Disc 3 was a freaking bloodbath. Like, that was out of control. And Disc 2 had freaking poking a baby's eyes back into its head with enough force to splash blood into the mother's mouth. Jesus Christ. And then we had...
Yeah, but I mean, no, I don't necessarily believe that's true, because I mean, in spite of all the violence, what bothered me the most about this game was the fact that a lot of the social commentary, like, was, except for the fireman things, very subtle. Like, by the time you get to floor 2 of the lodge, you're introduced to the fact that there's a librarian, and there's some dialogue that you might not even see with proper choices, that she's only in that position because she's not a lodge member, but her position is considered to be beneath men.
Yeah,
and I mean, in general, like, the criminal psychology is intended to be sort of someone who rejects societal norms and can't value life properly. And there's just some very quiet, I mean, because remember, the whole thing was created by Steve's psychology, right? It was tainted by Steve's psychology, so it makes you wonder if that's supposed to be Steve's thoughts, and by extension the player's thoughts,
Well, the program was designed, they said, like, here's Harvester, and the reason Harvester looked a little off is because of your subconscious.
Right.
So, like, they were trying, I think that there was still the lodge, there was still the basic plot that was supposed to be in the game no matter what, but I guess any weird nuances you might have noticed, like anything that was just like, what? Like, that was the subconscious kind of coming through.
Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, because they said that Harvest is a program, and, like, they tried to make a 50s town with, like, you need to perform some little pranks, but it was the stuff that, like, if didn't Harvester seem a little weird to you? Yeah, well, that was you kind of coming in, because, like, as good as technology is on our part, we can't make it perfect.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing about that. And you know what the funny thing is? As utterly depraved and despicable, and intentionally so, as this game is, I gotta say, it is a well-designed and more well-thought-out than I gave it credit for game, especially in the end, where they explain why everything was the way it was. It's like, that was intentional. That wasn't just the game's creator saying, let's put weird things in here just to creep gamers out. Like, let's have a scene where we bury a kid alive. Like, that's messed up. Like, check it off the list. Like, that was actually there, as you say, to get into Steve's head to desensitize him to the violence. Because I gotta say, when the first time I ever saw Jimmy James shoot me, that rocked my world. I was like, this is what this game is like. But then, I mean, you said repeatedly, like, when you killed the fat man and his entrails spilled everywhere. I don't know, when I killed Mr. Kane, his entrails spilled everywhere. Like, you actually noted, like, this no longer, like, impresses me based on what we've seen. Which was, interestingly, the point. Like,
yeah, I mean, the deaths definitely do get gorier as you go, like, sort of culminating the chess master, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It was almost like, I'm not going to say that the symbolism was as deep as Silent Hill 2, but it reminded me of Silent Hill 2, and that, like, when you look back at it, you're like, oh, I see what they did there. The only difference is the game just says it in plain English at the end, whereas Silent Hill 2 does not. So, like, warrants a second play. Harvester warrants a second play to see what else you can do. For example, a lot of the things I got were optional. Like, the guide was giving me, like, the long scenic route. I did not have to blackmail the principal and the teacher and get the baseball bat. I never used the baseball bat, but it's something you can do. Same goes for Range Rider. We got his autograph. You actually can look at that in your inventory. It's just an autograph picture. I don't think it does anything, but, like, there you go. Like, stuff like that.
We got to see everything. We didn't. I mean, I can't even imagine how we would have gotten through that last lodge level without having the scythe and the shotgun shells. That was ridiculous.
I don't know. Like, you have to kill the janitor to get to the next area. And to kill the janitor, God help you if you don't have the shotgun. And to get the shotgun, you need to kill that valet guy, or not the valet guy, the cloakroom guy. And even if you do, congratulations, you have like what, a couple shells? Like you need to find the shells in the secret room. Or if you don't, there's 2 also secret shells. It's outside of the chess master. Like, I really thought I'd have to reload a much earlier save, or like run down to level 2 and grab another sandwich or something, because that was seriously stressful.
Oh, yes.
That, and I mean,
well, the game
by the time we get to this commentary, I'll have certainly edited stuff out, but how many times did I reload that Range Rider fight, or that, the final fight, or even, not McCain. The gladiator. Like, oh god.
Oh right, and I think that represented a tipping point in the game for us. The gladiator fight with the old people.
Yeah.
Just when we finally decided to give it up and stop trying to take the principled route through the game just for the point of maintaining a certain level of morality.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was trying to be noble, but like I feel like beating the game with enough health to be able to beat the game. Because like I tried attacking the gladiator, but like that's one thing I found interesting about the game too, is that with the Inquisitor, with the man strapped at the table, and with the gladiator with the old people, I found it interesting that the game really encourages the killing by, if you kill the innocents, it just lets you through.
Right.
Like you did the right thing, which is rather interesting. It's not like the game doesn't give you the option to say, or the game doesn't force Steve to say no because he's a good guy. It's like, all right, you're fighting the boss now. Like, there were multiple optional fights in this game.
And in reality, the game encourages you not to participate in active combat just for the sake of morality, because then your resources are spread very thin for the actually difficult fights that are required.
And in fact, same goes for the whores. You get an STD, and that was a gross scene, but they would have let you go. In fact, now I gotta wonder what would have happened with the Dark Woman.
I wonder if it's possible to find a doctor.
God knows. And the Dark Woman might have actually... There may have been a scene with the Dark Woman. Who knows?
Yeah, we missed a couple of things, but overall, I mean...
Yeah, it was a minor... It was probably like the horror scene where it's like the person looks up into the camera, like that's her O face, which was terrible. Terribly...
we need to... The player wants... This game is not designed to be fun, per se. It's designed to be an adventure. And to be honest, the player wants to get out of all of those situations as fast as possible. So it's very difficult to sort of make yourself want to go through a certain scene twice.
Well, what intrigues me is that when you kill... I don't know about the Inquisitor, certainly the Gladiator, you get a weapon for it. The thing is, though, the combat system is clunky. This was the 90s, so I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but it was quite clunky. But, ultimately, you're probably going to take a whack or two. Like Mr. Kane, like he ruined my day just because he got a couple lucky shots in because the thing didn't respond to my right.
It's an important distinction as we were talking about the progression of the objectives in the game, because in level 1 you only get a weapon for killing someone who you're not supposed to kill, who's out of the logical sequence of the progression of murder victims. The valet who's actually more closer to a real person, someone who actually helped you.
Yeah, he was as benign as a guy.
Yes, you were still at the part where you were killing people who were clearly monsters and not just regular people.
Oh, and
you got rewarded for it, as opposed to the
monsters.
As opposed to level 3, where you are encouraged by the overall gameplay to kill innocents.
Well, yeah, you are. It's mandatory, so it's like we're not going to reward you. It's like you had to do this anyway. And speaking of rewarding for killing the innocents, in level 1. When in that room with the chef, we were supposed to pick up the torso and the leg to toss to that weird sea creature. If you did kill the chef, which I did not, because I thought he'd fight back, you would get his machete. So that's just another reward in that.
Okay, yeah, same vein from level 1. Okay.
Yes, same exact thing. Overall, though, I will say that I legitimately enjoyed this game, and I actually would consider playing it again just if there's any other things I could see. Not to mention that I think because I was recording, I'm not using my computer here, I'm using a computer with like 2 gigs of RAM, and it's kind of like, I think like Skype by itself and Pamela are taking up like the half of the resources, so I would consider replaying this game again, if only to have a better frame rate, like a bit of a better frame rate.
Well, I mean, that's part of the reason why I don't do live commentary, because I can do my recording without grinding the game to a halt and play the game at least once beforehand.
Yeah, because on the PC where I record, like the games that I personally like, the higher end PC stuff, that PC can handle it, and usually I do console footage, which isn't really a factor for the computer, at least down here, so that's not such a big deal. But I certainly would like to play this game again with a bit of better frame rate, because, I mean, the viewers will have noticed some stutter, especially, I remember when you're talking to the dad, when the mom's coming up to the hallway and stutters, and especially when Mr. Potsdam is screaming when he sees the skull and the spinal cord, that was comically laggy, or whatever the term for it is, frame.
I'll just punctuate this by saying I don't think I'll be playing this game again. But but that was interesting. Wow, that was some laugh there, you guys.
Yeah, like I love a good point and click adventure, but this is like the dark recesses of point and click adventure that like they don't want you to remember existed, and I understand why, even if it was a social commentary. Mm-hmm. And it almost broke the fourth wall with Steve playing Harvester. We got a little Steve-ception going on. Steve's playing himself playing Harvester, and he's actually a serial killer from playing Harvester, even though he's in Harvester. I don't know what's happening. The last thing the game leaves you with is Roadrunner cartoons.
Roadrunner cartoons? Oh my god.
Oh, Warner Brothers, it's all your fault, even though you're the best cartoons ever.
Anyway, that was a lot of fun, more or less.
Yeah, and one thing before I go that I really got to say is I really got to thank you for being incredibly patient with me regarding any time the computer's borked and things like that, because we've had to retake multiple installments and the entire freaking first disc, which is 2.5 hours worth of gameplay.
Well, so, it was good to get the project under our belts.
Twas. I really do appreciate it, though, because like I've had a lot of unpleasant things going on with the technology I've been using for this LP, so thank you for that.
No problem. My pleasure.
Alright, well, this was a sweet Let's Play. I rather enjoyed the game, and it was dark even for me, so thank you all for watching, and thank you to Jack Frost and Kajek's Party for their amazing title cards once again. That said, until next time, everyone.